Today we are baking up one of my absolute favorites. Y'all get ready for some deliciously warm, sweet apple crisp. So we're starting off by cutting up one lemon here. Just one lemon, cut it in half. We're going to squeeze a little bit of that lemon juice into a bowl of water or Lexan of water. This lemon water is going to keep our apples fresh while we cut them up. Alright, we're starting off with Honeycrisp apples and 6 Granny Smith's apples. A total of 12 apples in all. Okay, so I'm using my potato peeler to kind of peel this apple here. It's not working for me. Well, at least it's not working like I like it. So I'm going to go old school. I'm going to go back just to using the knife. Traditional old school knife. You know, the way my mama taught me. So if you're going to use a knife, you're going to cut off the top and then cut off the bottom skin first. Makes it a little bit easier for you. Then you're just going to go down the sides until you've peeled off all the skin. It's that easy. And if you want to go ahead and use that potato peeler, go ahead and knock yourself out. That's totally up to you. I'm just going old school today, y'all. Okay, same thing with the Honeycrisp apple. I'm going to go with the top first. I'm going to rotate to the bottom and do the same. Alright, and now we're going to get rid of the additional skin here. Alright. Okay, so we're just putting our first couple apples in that lemon water, help preserve that color. And we have all 12 of these apples cut now. Okay, so you're going to take an apple and you're going to cut around the core. Now, if you have one of those core remover thingies, whatever you call them, y'all, please let me know what you call them things. Anyway, I don't use them. I prefer just to cut the apple from around, just to cut the apple away from the core. I just like to use the old school method most times. Okay, so now we're just going to take each apple here, with each slice, and cut it in cubes. Anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. No exact science here. Okay, and this is about the size you want here. That is perfect. So I'm going in with a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. And I'm just going to put both those Honeycrisp and those Granny Smith apples in the pan here. Making sure they're evenly blended. I like the combination of sweet and tart of the Honeycrisp and the Granny Smith. So we want to blend them real good here. And once it's all filled up, we're going in with a teaspoon of salt. Going in with a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. A 1/4 cup of tightly packed light brown sugar. A 1/4 cup of flour. Easy enough, right? Going to squeeze a little bit of that lemon juice from the other half of that lemon. If you don't have a fresh lemon, just about 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice would do. Now I probably should have put this in a bowl before I did this, but it'd probably be better for you all to put it in a bowl and just take a little spoon and stir around all the sugar and the flour into this apple mixture here. But I already had it in the pan, so I'm just going to mix it by hand here. Make sure we get it all mixed in nice and good here. Okay, so we're going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. I prefer salted, but you're free to use unsalted butter. Okay, we're also going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla. Give it just a little bit of extra flavor. All right, now I'm going to cover this up and put it in the oven on 350 degrees for roughly about 15 minutes. Now, I bake mine for longer. I like mine to bake for about 30 minutes because I personally like my apples really soft. But I know most people don't like their apples as soft as I like mine when they're done. So I'm going to just vent the top of this and I put mine in for 30. But again, this is going in for 15 minutes for you all. Just 15 minutes. Take a little bit of that crunch out of those apples. All right, so one of our secret ingredients for our topping here, we're using Biscoff cookies. We've taken half of an 8.8 ounce pack of cookies here. Now, if you have a food processor, it's great. Just throw them in that food processor and get them all finely chopped. But if you don't have a food processor like me and you're just using your hand, just going to put them in a little bowl here. Crunch them up kind of coarsely, and then we're going to transfer them into a little Ziploc bag to really get them chopped up nice and fine. Okay, again, if you have the food processor, you will be skipping this step. But if you're going with me, just transfer those cookies and we're getting ready to chop away. I'm just taking my rolling pin to kind of chop them up a little bit first before I begin to roll. Okay, once we get them chopped up pretty good, we're going to take that rolling pin and we're going to roll and crush them real good because we want these cookies really, really nice and fine. We don't want any large pieces going into our apple crisp topping here. Coming along good. Perfect. Okay, so in a separate bowl, we're going to go in with 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of Quaker oats, a total of a half cup of granulated sugar, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Easy enough, right? Now we're just going to get that all nice and mixed in. Make sure it's mixed nice and even. Okay, to our flour and oat mixture, we're going to add our finely chopped Biscoff cookies. This Biscoff cookies takes this recipe to a whole new level, y'all. Okay, so we're just going to get that all nice and evenly incorporated. Okay, we're pouring in a half cup of butter. Again, I'm using salted, but unsalted will work just fine. We're going to mix that into it's all nice and crumbly. And if it's not quite wet enough for you, you want it to be a little bit wetter. I wanted mine to be a little bit wetter, so I just took a little bit of water. About 2.5 tablespoons worth. All right, so my apples are fresh out the oven. Again, mine baked longer, about 30 minutes. If you like them softer, bake them about 30 minutes like me. If you like them a little bit firmer, just keep them in about 15 minutes. Take them out, and you're going to top them with that delicious apple crisp topping that we just made here. And you're going to put an even amount over the top of these apples, making sure it's even until you get to the end and you see that you need to fill in the holes, but just distribute it kind of even if there are holes right now, because you'll fill them in later. So right here it's pretty much all this. You put it on there really good, and we're just filling in the little gaps here. Perfect. This is how it looks before it goes in the oven. We're going to put it back in that oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. So total baking time will be roughly about 35 minutes on the total baking time of this dish. All right, 350 degrees, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes on this run here. All right, so mine's out the oven. I've let it sit for about 15 minutes. Let it cool down just a little bit. Oh, and it turned out so good, y'all. Just take a look at that. Now you can go ahead and dig into this delicious dessert right now, but I want to take it just a little bit farther. Because even though it's nice and warm and it'll taste good just like this, I want to add a little bit of melted hot butter here over the top of this dessert. Just make it taste just that much better. Let me add a little bit of, you guessed it, a little bit of that ice cream. Now, I'm not on camera tasting it because I couldn't get anybody to film me because I am filming at my restaurant. But trust me, y'all, it turned out delicious. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.